Hi, welcome. This is Dr. Norm McVeigh here with iBliss, and this is part 4, Anatomy of the Human Energy Field. I want to thank you for tuning in. Parts 1, 2, and 3 are on YouTube. My goal here is to increase your ability to coach and to do therapy 100 times. And I'm giving you an overview of a training program that I gave way back in 1972, and then again in 78 and 83. Training coaches. I trained about 2,000 coaches through this program, and therapists and such like that also. So we've been covering what makes up a belief system and where it comes from and what it is and what it's doing there. And I'd like to show you here a couple things. First, I'd like to mention that there is a white light horizontal energy field in the audio and video track of these programs. If you turn, the higher you turn the volume up and the more you hang out with it, view it, the more the energy field works. So you get a chance to experience how that works. It helps release incidents and helps take them the counterclockwise spin and make it clockwise. It helps raise vibration as well. And there's a way of doing, you can do the tapping regular style, the regular EFT thought field therapy style. That works great. It's great exercise. Now sometimes you might find that there's another way of doing it, and that is that, well, when I walk down the street, just a quick one, when I walk down the street doing this and this and this, I had a lady walk up to me and said, "Are you all right?" I told her, "Lady, I wouldn't be doing this, this, and this if I was all right, okay?" It's not what all right people do. So anyway, but there's a way, it's just phenomenal. EFT and energy tapping is just incredible stuff, really breakthrough in psychology. Really phenomenal process. Now there's another way of doing it, which you'll find that'll add to your EFT, your tapping, energy tapping abilities. Take your left hand, which is input, and you put that on top of the speaker so that the words coming through the speaker come through your left hand, and as you're tapping, they come out your right hand. The energy field comes out your right hand. And as I mentioned, the audio track is encoded with the energy field, and so is the video. And you'll see tappings I have, or energy tapping sessions I have on YouTube, have the energy encoded. So when you're doing that tapping, and I have it on various subjects that I think you'd really like, based on a lot of the models I'm showing you here, put your left hand on the speaker. You can put your left hand on the screen too, but you get fingerprints on your screen. Just put your left hand, the palm of your hand on the speaker, or you can run the headphones out and put it on your left hand like that. That works fine. And tap with your right hand. Or you just do regular tapping and just turn up the volume enough on that so that the field comes out. You can feel yourself releasing with it, creating an altered state, so to speak. And that's a lot about, that's the kind of work I do. That's how I've been doing it and training people, and it works really, really well. And the larger the screen, the more the energetic field. The bigger the speakers, the more the energetic field. I've encoded a lot of music with the energy field. I've done a lot of work with this in a quantum physics lab and working with in recording studios, and I've been having a great time with this. I'm an inventor and a researcher, and that's what I do. So I've been having a grand time with it. And I appreciate you guys and being able to play with you here. So these, as I mentioned, are encoded with white light, and it helps raise your energetic field. And you can go to coherentcoachinginstitute.com, and you can see a lot more of this. And you can also go to pranahigh.com, and you'll see some additional, my earlier materials that I've written. iBliss books on the subject while I was doing this last 8 years with a researcher. Some of them are free. I think even this month, and maybe some other times, they're available free as free downloads on the web from pranahigh.com, Scott Borders. And so I want to give you that information. I'd like to go on here and show you some of how you become that 100 times more effective coach. And I want to show you something here. This is a heart rate variability biofeedback device. Okay, I'm going to turn this guy on here. I've been working with biofeedback since 1968. Carl Jung in the late 1800s came up with galvanic skin response biofeedback. He's the father of biofeedback, Carl Jung. When I was taking psychology courses and electronics courses, I stumbled across him. It was pretty much of a stumble in those days, and I found out about that. So here's the device here, and this is what it looks like. There's a heart rate variability monitor. I'm just going to hook this up just for a brief demo here. Hooks to the ear. This is where sticking the ear comes from. Anyway, there it is. And I'm going to show you in the monitor here. I'm going to bring this forward. There's some light in the room, so it may not be so easy to see. But you'll see a pulsing light on this side here. I'm reversed. you'll see a pulsing light right here. That's my heartbeat. And red here means stress. That's a regular stress field. Okay, put this nice and close here. Just want you to see it. And what you do is, as you're talking with the person, and there's other things going on here I explain in more advanced trainings, but when you're talking with your client or patient or whatever, it'll change. It'll go red, blue, green. Blue is medium stress, and it's like 50% truth, 50% non-truth, and green is full coherence. I think it went green there for a minute and then went back to red there. So maybe there was a way I could have expressed that would have been better. Oh, that's coherent, that's true. You start to see how you work this device. It's really brilliant. And this is what this looks like. And if you decide you want one of these, come to my website, because I'm doing research a lot on these devices, and there are other companies now that are starting to manufacture or thinking about it and designing, and I'm working with a couple of them in the basic stages. And so when you come to my site, whenever that is, I'll give you the latest information on what the best device is on the market. And if you buy this device from me, I'll give you a free training program. It's a mini, but it's a training program on how to use this particular device. I must be telling the truth. Look, it's green. Oops, right there. So anyway, this is the device here, and the book that I've written on this is, I'm the author of about 7 books, but I've ghostwritten a bunch too. But here's the book here. This book is called Coherent Coaching with EFT, Energy Psychology, and HRV Biofeedback. Now, let's say you coach on the phone. What do you do about that? You have to have this cord here. It has to be 5,000 miles long to reach to New York from San Francisco. Nope. What you can do is if you're working with somebody on an ongoing basis, what you do is you have them purchase this device. It's a couple $100 and change. You have them purchase this device, and when can you hear it dinging? Oops. You can probably hear it dinging in there if I'm picking this up, and it dings when it changes fields, when it changes amongst the 3 different fields. And when you're talking to a person on the phone and they have this device on their end, what happens is you'll hear the dinging, and the difference in tones will give you audio feedback, which will tell you what to do and what they're doing in the subconscious in terms of coherence in the session. If you're Skyping it and with video, you can watch the device on there. And if they don't have the device, just going along here. So if they don't have the device, what do? You put it on your own ear and you start talking with them on the phone. And when you have asked them the correct questions and you're really working on them in a really powerful way, it's green light like it's right now. It's green light. And what you want to do is do most of your sessions in green light. You'll start seeing that the better you get at coaching, the more it's green. If you ask them a question that doesn't go green, it wasn't the right question. Yeah, if it goes blue, it's 50% the right question, 50% not. But that's how it does. It gives you feedback on how you're doing. And what you'll find is you'll become a better and better coach by utilizing the biofeedback system, because the biofeedback system helps you get into the subconscious. If you hear any beeping now, that's my watch. That's not even it. But anyway, it helps you get more and more into the zone, and you get better and better at it. And it's a feedback loop. It tells you when you're on. It just heard a ding there. I don't know if you could hear that there with the audio. But anyway, you'll hear a ding, and that tells you you've changed 3 fields. And there's other ways of setting this device up that really make it valuable. And I have other kinds of biofeedback I'm aware of also that's really good. But this is a really good system. And I use this in my sessions. And you can ask questions and find out. Just a quick thing here, okay? I want to show you exactly how this works. I have an allergy. I don't have it much now, but I had it back a couple years ago. And I was doing some self-talk with myself, doing a session with myself to try to find out why I had these allergies. Now realize I've had these things all my life, so I'm heavily psychologically reversed. And I started asking myself questions. I spent 45 minutes asking questions of myself and getting nothing coherent at all. It was all red light. Wasn't telling the truth. The questions weren't in the zone. Nothing was working. So at the end of the session, before I threw the thing out the window, I asked myself, I said, well, maybe there's some supplements I'm not taking that I should take. And I mentioned a few supplements. Then I mentioned MSM, which is a sulfur compound. It went from red light to blue light to green light real fast. So I knew I had something real interesting. And I go, how can this be? This is not possible because I'm taking MSM. Now, why the hell would this thing give me a green light on MSM? And then it kept staying green. And I kept going, this is not even true. And I couldn't, it was just a green light. It kept showing coherence. I said, I just don't understand why. I'm taking MSM. It's not making any difference. And it's a green light. What could that be? So I stopped the session, I thought about it, ended the session. I thought about it, and when I was at a New Life Expo, which I like a lot, I went there and I found a chemist, and I asked him, I said, tell me about MSM. I mean, I've taken it for years, tell me about it. Well, as he told me about it, he said that the active dose for my allergies was about somewhere around 17, I forget now, I'll have to go back and take a look. It was a lot, 10 grams a day, let's just say. Well, I was taking 1 gram a day. See, the question I didn't ask next was, how much of this should I be taking? But that's not even what you want to ask. What you say is, I should take 2 grams a day. Look for a coherent light. Okay, didn't get it. 4 grams a day. Nope. 6 grams a day. 8 grams a day. 10 or 1, 2, 3. And what will happen is you'll get a coherent light when you've gotten the right dosage. It's like muscle testing. Just like muscle testing. It's like going like this in testing, or like that in testing, or the various ways you can do muscle testing. It's just always on. So anyway, I want to give you an example of what I use in my coaching. And I think it's truly tremendous, and what I train you to use in our training programs together. It's really a simple to use device. The devices I used to sell and used to train people in were complicated. They cost a couple $1,000s. It took a 6-weekend training program, which I gave for Synergy Seminars and a couple other companies. It really took a lot to train people in that, and it was really a lot to it. And it was a big device. This is as big as a cell phone. I mean, it's real easy to take with you. Just give you a quick other example on this. There's a guy I was sailing with, and I was talking to him, and I found out that he was a coach. I started talking to him about coaching, and I asked him, how was it going? And he said, well, it wasn't going that well. He thought he should be doing something else. So I happened to have my motorcycle there, and this biofeedback device, this heart rate variability biofeedback device, and this was the most uncommon place to give a session. It was right where the dumpsters were, where I parked my motorcycle in the parking lot of the yacht club. So I put this on his ear real quick, and I said, tell me about it. Tell me about why you love coaching. He tells me about it and doesn't get a bit of coherence on it. So I asked him, I said, well, what is it around coaching that you like? Well, I mean, obviously it's not coaching that's not really flying for you. And I asked him some questions, and what he came up with is he would love to write a book on coaching. That's what he really wanted to do. And it went coherent, green. So I just indicated to him, I said, what you should do is write a book on coaching. You should consider that. That's what makes your heart sing. That's what creates heart coherence. That's what does it. And he stopped. That session took 5 minutes. And that session was, for any person I'm working with, a $5,000 session. Because that indication was a right answer, a right indication, and he saw immediately the direction. There he went. There he goes. That's what you can do. You can do a session with this device once you learn my training, that you can just ask the person questions and establish the correct answers or right answers. For example, when I'm doing an hour session, I'll spend 15 minutes sometimes getting the issue worded correctly. Now you might think I'm pretty slow and pretty dumb to spend 15 minutes of a person's time, and I don't charge just a little either. You may wonder, and I'm retired, I really don't do many sessions, but I do them to keep in practice and to, for research and such. But certain people I really want to work with, I've known from the past and such. But why would I take 15 minutes to get the issue? Well, I want to tell you, an issue properly worded is half solved already, or half released. Okay, so a problem well defined is a problem half solved. You remember that? Okay, so a problem well defined is a problem half solved. And when you get the issue worded correctly, it'll go right down to a core issue or core incident very quickly, down your thread of 3s, 2s, and 1s, right down there. So I'll spend that kind of time getting it worded correctly, because a coherent issue is exactly the truth. Now, if you don't have biofeedback and you're new to the game and stuff, you're going to get some wrongly worded issues, and you're going to find that they're going to take a lot longer to get to the core. But they'll still get results. You'll be tapping, you're still taking charge off, you're still releasing negative mental energy, the person's still going up the scale of vibration. But there's nothing like a correctly or rightly worded issue that exactly parallels or duplicates the subconscious issue. When it's worded right, the person's jaw is already half dropped. And when you get the right issue, that's what you expect. The person's coming to you. If they knew the answer, they wouldn't be coming to you. They generally know they want to quit smoking, or they want to stop drinking, or they want to quit frittering away time at the office. They're right about that. but they don't know subconsciously what's driving it. They don't know. They have answers to that, and they may be right and they may be wrong, but mostly they're a harmonic of the truth. Sometimes they're totally off, but sometimes they're just a harmonic of the truth. And that means that they're like a fractalization of a whole. You've got to run every single fractal piece before you ever get the whole thing run. That's why this is know before you go. This is psychological testing at its finest. And that's what I was trained as, essentially. I was trained as a clinician with biofeedback. So that's why I'm holding this up here and showing you this and showing you how this works, because this is the way of the future. When energy psychology or tapping meets HRV biofeedback, it's going to take off double, triple, quadruple anything it's ever even seen. You know, it's like getting the right fuel in your car, or finding the right path of livelihood, or meeting the right girl or boy, or anything like that. It's just like there's no, wow. It's like getting a great massage. There's just no substitute. Good massages are good, but the great one, yeah. And that's what you want to do, is give great sessions. And this is a tool to help you do that. So I want to cover this here, and you could also do some other things with it too. I cover in my video programs and such. But essentially, I think I've covered in very much brief of what I wanted to get across to you here today. And if you have interest in some of these parts, and I know you will because I'm getting emails and calls and such, and people asking me to do more, I know you can follow up on any of these areas I have in future training programs. They'll be available over my website. And that essentially is it. So I really appreciate you tuning in here. Tune into some of my videos, my tapping videos with the white light energy field in the background. I think you'll find them to be extraordinary. And you can do regular EFT tapping with them. You can put your hand on the speaker, just do that, have the field tap you, or you can tap with both hands and just be in the energetic field of it. All that will work. So stay tuned, and my website, coherentcoachinginstitute.com. Dr. Norm McVeigh here. Thanks so much for joining, and see you in the near future.